anticipated that gas prices might be going up like they did last year, given tight world oil supplies. But that doesn't make it easier for a lot of families out there that are just struggling to get by. This is tough. Now, the question is, how do we meet this challenge? Because right now, we're starting to see a lot of politicians. Talking a lot.
Talking a lot.
And not doing much.
Amen.
And we've seen this movie before. Gas prices went up around this time last year. Gas prices shot up in the spring and summer of 2008. I remember I was running for president at the time. This has been going on for years now. And every time prices start to go up, especially in an election year, politicians dust off their three-point plans for $2 gas. I guess this year they decided we're going to make it $2.50.
I'll send it to you.
I don't know where, why not $2.40? Why not $2.10? But they tell the same story. They head down to the gas station. They make sure a few cameras are following them. And then they start acting like we've got a magic wand and we will give you cheap gas forever if you just elect us. Every time. It's been the same script for 30 years. It's like a bad rerun. Now here's the thing. Because we've seen it all before, we know better. You know better. There is no such thing as a quick fix when it comes to high gas prices.
Correct.
There's no silver bullet. Anybody who tells you otherwise isn't really looking for a solution. They're trying to ride the political wave of the moment. Usually, the most common thing when you actually ask them, all right, how is it that you're going to get back to $2 a gallon gas? How are you going to do it? Specifically, what is your plan? Then typically what you'll hear from them is, well, if we just drilled more for oil, then gas prices would immediately come down and all our problems would go away. That's usually the response. Now, Marilyn, there are two problems with that answer. First of all, we are drilling. Under my administration, America is producing more oil today than at any time in the last 8 years. That's a fact.
Yep.
That's a fact. We've quadrupled the number of operating oil rigs to a record high. I want everybody to listen to that. We have more oil rigs operating now than ever. That's a fact. We've approved dozens of new pipelines to move oil across the country. We announced our support for a new one in Oklahoma that will help get more oil down to refineries on the Gulf Coast. Over the last 3 years, my administration has opened millions of acres of land in 23 different states for oil and gas exploration. Offshore, I've directed my administration to open up more than 75% of our potential oil resources. That includes an area in the Gulf of Mexico we opened up a few months ago that could produce more than 400 million barrels of oil. So do not tell me that we're not drilling.
All right now.
We're drilling all over this country. I mean, I guess there are a few spots where we're not drilling. We're not drilling in the National Mall. We're not drilling at your house. I guess we could try to have like, 200 oil rigs in the middle of Chesapeake Bay. Well, that's the question. We are drilling at a record pace, but we're doing so in a way that protects the health and safety and the natural resources of the American people. All right, so that's point number one. If you start hearing this drill, baby, drill, 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 if you start hearing that again, just remember you've got the facts.
Right.
We're doing that. Tell me something new. That's problem number one. Here's the second problem with what some of these politicians are talking about. There's a problem with a strategy that only relies on drilling, and that is America uses more than 20% of the world's oil. If we drilled every square inch of this country, so we went to your house, and we went to the National Mall, and we put up those rigs everywhere, we'd still have only 2% of the world's known oil reserves. Let's say we missed something. Maybe it's 3% instead of 2. We're using 20. We have 2. Now, you don't need to be getting an excellent education at Prince George's Community College to know that we've got a math problem here.